Welcome to It Can Get Better Than This. I'm Dr. Cindy Byler.
And I'm Heather Hodge. And our last episode of this season, Creating a Life You Love, is called The Red Geranium.
Yes, I'm excited about this episode.
Me too. I've been looking forward to it. This is a story that I told from someone else. And when I tried to research it to get the author and everything, I found out there are a lot of Red Geranium stories.
Yes, there are.
And I could not find the one that I was told. So I'm going to summarize the concept, if that's okay. And if later on down the road we find it, or if you know who it's by and where it came from, please comment below and I'll put it in our little description. But the concept of it was that I guess this woman's home, her husband had died and her home was going into shambles. I mean, mail everywhere, cobwebs everywhere, dishes everywhere. It fell apart internally. And in her grieving, one of her friends gave her a red geranium flower. And she put it on her kitchen table and said, "Man, that flower is really pretty. The table around it looks a mess. I'm going to clean it up." So she cleans up the table and she's like, "Wow, it's beautiful. And the table looks so nice and it's so put together. I wish the room around it looked better." And that kind of started like a domino effect of her house getting back together, and it was supposed to be like a metaphor for her life coming back together.
Yeah.
And creating a life you love. One of the things that I thought of was I would love a little hobbit life. Does not mean that I want chickens and cows
Oh,
or anything like that.
no animals.
But when I walk inside, I want it to feel like a hobbit life and full of food and friends and
Hobbit core.
happy and hobbit core. Yeah. And I love the look of the cottage core house, but I do not want to take care of a farm. I don't want to stay home all the time. It's a complicated thing, but
Well, you just want the aesthetic. You don't want the whole life that goes with it.
yeah.
Right.
Or
A
a
lot of
little bit
people
of
like
both,
that.
but
Right.
not but um doing little things, and I've talked about that my whole adult life. Doing little tiny things here and there can create a it can brighten up your current space.
Yes.
And if you're thinking physically, your environment that you live in, doing one little thing, even if it's just buying a piece of home decor from, one of those stores.
One of those kinds of
That's a
stores.
yeah, a home decor store or whatever. Even buying
Yeah.
one little thing like a mirror and hanging it up in your house and cleaning up around it and doing little tiny things here and there, it can really change your view of your home.
Sure.
So, like, when I bought my house, it was not and still is not necessarily in the best shape. It's a house from the 50s with a lot of oddities to it. The light is on the outside of the bathroom. The laundry room is outside.
Right.
And all of the plugs in the living room are they have no ground wiring
Oh,
in
wow.
them.
Yes.
So the three-prong plugs don't work.
Right.
And we had to fix the floor because the floor was falling apart. And I kept telling my husband, I live in hillbilly hell and I hate it here. And
You said hell.
that house is an investment and it's a story that is for another day. But either way, we had to make do what a lot of people have to do. And honestly,
Yes.
I'm very blessed to have a house and I recognize that. And it's easy to get bogged down in like being or not being content with what you have. But I challenged myself last year to find joy in what I had by doing little things here and there to spruce the place up.
Right. Finding that red geranium for yourself.
Yep. I
Right.
went back into our garage and dug out the rest of the paint from the living room and painted a couple of patches that needed to be done. And for my birthday, I asked for a couple of things from some different home decor stores, really, and not like super expensive things. I tried to keep it very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And I waited for sales for some of those things to come up so that it wouldn't be so bad. And I wasn't buying a bunch of AI artwork and all that kind of stuff too.
Right.
And it changed how I felt about the whole house.
Hmm.
And they have a lot of resources to be able to do that for your environment, whether even if it's just your bedroom, if you're in college in a dorm or still living at home,
Right.
or you're in a roommate situation or whatever.
Just starting
um
with one room, even if you have a whole house, really helps.
yeah,
Like, okay, I've got
you
this
have a
part done.
sanctuary. Yeah.
Right.
And when you're if if you have a lot more space that you have to take care of, if you're in a whole house and the house constantly feels overwhelming, having a sanctuary room,
Yes.
that room stays untouched. It needs to stay clean, it needs to stay pretty for my own mental health.
Right.
um
For me, it was a painting that I had done by my daughter-in-law, one of my daughter-in-laws, and I wanted more fun in my house.
yeah,
My Aunt Bonnie, who's also my dear godmother, her house is so fun.
it is.
It
It's very
has
fun.
it has all kinds of characters in it from Disney and all kinds of different fun
Just happy
characters.
stuff
Yes,
too. Yeah.
and my house feels so serious comparatively, and I really like little kid stuff. Although I don't think it's little kid stuff. I think it's for adults too.
No, Frog and Toad's not like little
Yeah,
kid stuff
right.
necessarily. That's for
So I
everybody.
love Frog and Toad. That's my newest edition. So it's just this painting had little animals on it, and they were on their way to a picnic, and that was all I needed to start feeling like, oh, this house is really mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, I added Frog and Toad. They don't have their little house set up yet, but they're going to have a little place in my kitchen. I just want fun stuff in the house rather than it being just what everybody else has.
Right. And if you're like me and you have an idea of what you want it to look like, but you have no idea how to get started, I do recommend looking at like TikTok and
Pinterest,
Pinterest, and
yes.
even Googling and talking to different people that you like their style or what they've done with their home, and asking, how do you go about this?
Right.
I had a friend that wanted her house to feel like an episode of Bridgerton,
That's
and
great.
she's already extremely creative, but yeah, she looked at all kinds of stuff, and um she was able to put it together little by little, and it's beautiful. It's really fun.
And it's her.
And it is very her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So just creating an environment that you enjoy helps create a life you love. And it just starts with one thing.
Yeah. Admittedly, I had done this earlier this year with how I looked too. There's somebody that we're friends with, that my husband and I are friends with, that I really envied how she looked.
Hmm.
And I was like, this isn't a body image thing. It's that she always looks very like put together. And
Right.
when I say clean, I don't mean like literally clean. I mean like polished and put together.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I wish that if like I had money, that would be the thing that I'd want to do. And I was like, wait, I don't, I have all of the elements of like the outfits she's putting together. It's simple things like solid color shirt and jeans and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not a hard thing to do.
Right.
I didn't need, and I'm not interested in like name brand or anything. And honestly, I shop at a lot of consignment shops just for the environment anyway, but
Yeah.
it was not that hard to put similar, not exact, but similar
Right.
elements
Just tweaking.
together.
Right.
And after postpartum, I hated my hair because I had these like
The
crazy,
wisps.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had these
Yeah.
crazy, like a whole headband of crazy wisps, and
Yeah.
I hated it. And like, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't look together because of that. Hence why I switched to bangs and wound up being able to find a hairstylist that was very good, very affordable,
Hmm.
and this really isn't that hard to maintain. And that helped a lot. Like, there's little tiny little tweaks that
Right.
you don't have to go full makeover mode, and you don't have to.
Spend a lot of money.
Right.
Right. Or spend a lot of time. Just little tweaks along the way as you learn.
Yeah. And communicating with people who might know better than you on things like hair or clothes or
Yes.
home or whatever it
Right.
is.
Right. We've talked a lot about reading
Yeah.
in these because that's one of the things. Another thing is games, like
Yeah.
finding little things that you enjoy along the way, like the Red Geranium, but things that you enjoy. We've talked about hobbies. It doesn't have to start with, when I started crocheting, it didn't start with 5 projects.
Or giant, massive projects either.
No, it started with this little ball that I think Benjamin still has, and I put eyes on it. And it was just learning how to do the basics. And then it was, I can't remember, they were very simple projects that were kind of goofy, but it helped me learn what I was doing so that I could continue from there. I
Yeah.
tried scarves, but that didn't work very long because I just could not get the ends even. I had to keep counting stitches and I lost count. It was
Oh, I
just,
don't know. I have my scarf still that you made me, and I
oh,
love it. I wear it all the time.
the alpaca yarn. Yes.
Yeah.
I had the thinner yarn for a while and that didn't work for me very well.
And sometimes it's like little changes within the hobby that you got to change. Like you changed
Yes.
the kind of yarn that you did
Yes.
and you loved it. I
Yeah.
changed which books. I wanted to be so classically well read, and I learned that just changing the book just slightly even did not lessen the fact that I wanted to be more well read. It just meant that I had to change the book a little bit.
Right.
And that wound up making it more fun.
Right. And doing it through Audible rather than trying to read all the time because that fits what you can do, right? Especially right now, better.
Yeah.
Right. Little tweaks like that.
Also, if you had a hobby or a thing that you did in like middle school and high school or when you were a kid that you would like to reignite,
Oh,
you don't
yes.
have to sign up for something super expensive or
Right.
difficult to make it to, you know? There are things like there's a such thing as a local theater
Right.
that takes everybody. You could do that. There are different places to volunteer for that kind of thing. And even if it's like you played baseball when you were younger, even if you don't have the time to join like a league or a team,
Hmm.
there are, I mean, there are little things you could do.
Yeah.
Like,
Like Ben and Bree
yeah,
got baseball gloves for Christmas this year and they play catch.
yeah. And
They're
it's a
loving
little
that.
thing, but it's so important to the enjoyment of, and that's part of creating a life that you love.
Right. Right.
Um,
And sometimes we hit roadblocks,
yeah,
but many times it's because the project or the hobby or the goal is too big.
yeah,
So it helps to break it down into um, smaller steps and trying different things to, like you tried the Audible books, and I tried different yarn. Those are kind of simple hobbies, but trying different things to make it work better or finding somebody else that knows more about what they're doing to help you along the way.
yeah, yeah. I've been stuck on one of the rooms in my house, how to decorate it and how to set it up because I'm like, it's just too much. And I finally realized that one of the rooms in my house is going to have to be storage until I can get through
Hmm.
some of the stuff that I want um, taken out to get out.
Right.
And that there's no shame in that. Like,
Right.
we won't have a guest room for a little while or another like area of playroom or whatever. And I'm not going to have the living room I absolutely want right off the bat because our daughter's stuff
Right. Is
takes up a
everywhere.
lot of room.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and we're not at a time where we could get rid of anything. We were given like a little trampoline for her. We've been given a little table and chair set for her so that she can do like her Play-Doh or her painting or whatever at the table, at a table. And if it gets messed up, it doesn't matter. I can just,
Right.
that's a lot easier to wipe up on that table.
And repaint if you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of her stuff that she's been given that she
Hmm.
loves is very spacious. It takes up a lot of space.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm like,
This is where your life is at right now.
and
Yeah.
sometimes that, even though it's not aesthetically pleasing, that is the part of the life that I love. I love being a
That's a
part
good
of her
point.
life too.
Right.
And I want her childhood to be just like we want all our kids' childhoods to be fun and magical in certain areas, especially at home where she goes to have sanctuary.
Right.
But
When you guys were little, our living room was constantly taken up with tents that
yeah,
you made out of the dining room chairs and
that's
blankets and
right. So even if we get rid of anything, she's gonna find a way.
right, right, and big boxes. But I missed that part.
Yeah,
As soon as it was gone, I missed that part.
yeah,
So it does take up room, and it's not exactly how you want your house to look for other people. But I got to the point where I really don't care. My kids are happy, and you can see that they actually live here and that they're creative and they're enjoying it here.
yeah.
This is their home.
Yeah, and that's the part that she'll remember and that I'll remember and hang on to and miss because once she grows up, I'll have all the time in the world to have whatever kind of home that we want to have.
Right. Right.
But while she's this little, it's very much obvious that it's her home too.
Yes.
So,
Another roadblock is imposter syndrome.
yeah,
And that stops people in their tracks from doing things like we're doing here.
right. Oh, starting the podcast took forever
Yes.
because,
What are we
um,
doing? Like, who are we to be doing this? And
right. Well, even you who have, what do you have, like 2 doctorate degrees and a
hmm
master's degree, and you're like, nah, I'm not qualified for this. I'm
right.
like,
Nobody's going to want to hear
if
what we have to
anybody
say.
is qualified for this, it'd probably be you.
Right. And those things are roadblocks that we hit and we don't get to where we want to go, our goal or our dream or our hobby,
Yeah.
because we don't feel like we're good enough or equipped enough to do it or skilled enough to do it.
Yeah. I think a lot of times when you start something and you start talking to other people about what you're doing, you instantly feel like you think you sound like you're trying to be an expert in
Right.
the field too, or like you know all about it.
Right. You know
And
everything.
that
Right.
is not how it comes off. As long as you're not being arrogant about it, I don't think that's how like hardly
Right.
anybody comes off when they're talking about something they love. Um, yeah, getting getting past the imposter syndrome though would help a lot, especially in starting new things.
Yes. I guess we should have explained what the imposter syndrome is.
Okay.
That's when you feel like, let me see if I can say it right. If you feel like you are not qualified to do what you're trying to do.
Yeah, like how dare you?
Yes.
Or
So,
like,
like for this, it was like, who are we to be trying to talk to other people about mental health and getting their lives better together? Because we know how our lives are
oh yeah.
and what we've been through and are currently going through.
And even the things that we're talking about, we are not 100% fixed in our own lives
No,
on any of these
no,
things.
life is a journey, and we always need to look at it like that.
Yeah.
We never arrive. I hope that when I'm 100 years old and I finally pass away, and the kids are like, "Oh, finally, we get her money."
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding, but I want to be where when I'm like old, ancient, old, that I'm still learning and I'm still growing and I'm still becoming who I want to be. That I've come a long way, but that there's always more to learn and always room to grow.
Yeah.
So if we can allow ourselves that space, it might help when we face the imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I think no matter how old you are, that should be the goal in how to
Yes.
think too. Is I always have more to learn and I want to have that heart of wanting to learn
Yes.
and grow and change my mind about things and
Right.
yeah. So I do think, and I know we've said this quite a bit this season, but I do think that when you're doing this, when you're creating, recreating, whatever, a life that you love, it really does take one baby step at a time.
Hmm.
It's small adjustments. What do they say when you're turning the course of a ship, like a in the
Yes.
ocean, you can't just like Pirates of the
Right.
Caribbean this
Right.
thing. You have to, it's 2-degree turns that change the entire trajectory of where you're going, and that's really true for life too.
Those are the lasting changes, those 2-degree turns, too.
Yeah.
When we abruptly turn the whole ship, most of the time, those are behaviors that do not stay because you're not changing your mindset at the same time or your
Yeah.
character. You're just making an abrupt shift. Sometimes you need to make an abrupt shift,
Right. Right.
but most of the time you don't. And you need to make those 2-degree turns in your life little by little, no matter what it is, no matter how serious it is in your life, so that your mindset, your character can go with it as the boat changes.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And while we, especially if you are a big creative thinker and you dream big, the picture of that, when you look into it and you start analyzing what you need to do, you really find that that list is this long and it
Hmm.
gets overwhelming and oh god, how am I going to get all of that done? And it makes you want to give up.
Right.
So when you break it down into these little baby steps and little life adjustments, or finding like a little bit of time here and a little bit of time there to be able to do what you want to do, you make it digestible too.
Yes. And sustainable.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not like you have to get to the goal is to have this done and figured out in 4 months or whatever it is. It's taking that little bit of time and making it a fun life change.
Right.
Um, I think that the other thing that you could do, and one thing we haven't really talked a whole lot about is if there are characteristics that you want to adopt in creating a life that you love. If you want to be more kind or more thoughtful towards
Hmm.
people, or you want to be a better leader, or whatever the case is, I think it would be good to look at like philosophies and stuff too, little
Hmm.
things. And you could pull a proverb or a um like a philosophical quote or something like that, and saying you like measure your decisions based on that.
Yes. Yeah.
So um if like, okay, if you wanted to be a better leader, one of the things that Plato said is the measure of a man is what he does with power. So if you're in a position of any kind of power, whether that's like you're a boss at work, or you have people under you at work, or
Hmm.
you're a teacher or whatever, you think about what you measure your decisions based off what you're doing with that power.
Right.
And that one sentence is something that you can keep referring back to, and that would be a good like 2-degree
Right.
change.
Looking at other leaders, there's a lot of great leaders that have books about leadership and how they did it is another way to make those 2-degree turns.
Yeah.
And just starting with little snippets of their information and their principles will help.
Yeah, and the same thing goes with like I want to be a better parent this year, or
Hmm.
um yeah, that's another thing is there are some really good books out there. And the cool thing with like this short form content, like little
Hmm.
the YouTube shorts, or TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever, is that you can search this kind of stuff and get a short version of a review of that book and what it talks about and why it's good or
Yes.
why it's bad. So it's an easier way in some ways to do research to see if the material you're getting is legit, or if it's, well, BS.
Right. Sus. I was going to say if it's sus,
If it's
sus, sus.
suspicious.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think yeah, that kind of stuff can help a lot, even if
Right.
it's like one chapter at a time or one sentence at a time to live by. Writing it on your mirror,
Hmm.
on your fridge,
Yeah.
making it the background on your phone, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And definitely changes in our character are 2 degrees at a time
Yes.
because we have to really adjust all the way through
Yeah.
so that we really make it so that it's a lasting change rather than just, oh, okay, well, that was a little fad there. I've been gentler and now I'm not anymore. Or I've been kinder to people, but I'm not. And it's a day to day thing. It's sometimes a minute by minute thing of catching yourself before you're unkind or you're angry or whatever that characteristic
Yeah.
is that you want to change is catching yourself before you do it.
Yeah. And taking accountability and apologizing when you mess up.
Yes.
And
As
that
hard
doesn't
as
have to
that
be
is.
right. It doesn't have to be a whole complex. It doesn't have to be a whole letter of apology. It can be, you didn't deserve that. I'm sorry. Let me
Right.
try again.
Right.
Or giving yourself a rewind, as my
Yes.
sister-in-law says. She says that to her kids when they're disrespectful. Or she says, "I'm gonna give you a rewind."
Yeah, let's fix this and see if you can do it again
Yeah,
on play.
let me try that again. Like, wait, I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. Let me try that again.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just those little fixes in your will really help your relationships as well.
Yeah,
When you start apologizing for your actions, a lot of times the other person catches that growth.
right.
Sometimes I have one person in the marriage in marriage counseling, not two, and they're worried about, oh, how's this going to go? I'm like, well, it's going to mess up the equilibrium some.
Yeah,
But a lot of times we find that the spouse catches on. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, they're apologizing. I need to
yeah.
take more responsibility for my actions and my words and behaviors too.
And the same thing goes with the hobby thing too. If you feel like you're just absolutely not good at this, it takes a couple batches of bread before you can make a good one. It's okay to mess up. It's okay that
Yes,
it doesn't work out a couple of times.
right.
And
Give
sometimes you got to find an easier recipe or something too.
right, right.
It doesn't mean give up. It doesn't mean you'll never be able to do it. Um
Oh yeah, I've been trying to make vegan cakes for my daughter-in-law who's vegan. And then I
yeah.
tried a cheesecake and that
Oh.
cheesecake did not work out at all. And I was
Yeah.
like, forget it, I'm never doing this again. But I found a different recipe, not a cheesecake yet, but a different recipe for a chocolate cake that was really,
It
really
was
good.
amazing. Yeah.
And so I didn't give up. even though I'm dealing with ingredients that I don't understand at all because there's not the regular dairy ingredients within them,
Right.
or like substituting eggs for applesauce.
Yeah.
So, and then finding the right quantity for that, it just took a minute,
Yeah.
and it's something I'm not used to doing.
Right. Right. I, that's how it's been with me with reading too. It took me a couple of books before I finally was interested in one. And it was
Yes.
discouraging. I felt like, oh, I'm just not cut out for this kind of scholarly life, I guess. But I finally was like, okay, I do like this, and I could get behind this book. This one, like this one's actually really
Right.
interesting to me.
Yeah, finding the genre that you enjoy.
Yeah, or even just an author that took a little bit too,
Mhm.
and having to reread books that I've already read.
Right. It's fun to go back when you're my age and read books, well, maybe even your age too,
Yeah,
that you read in childhood.
that's one of the things I'm reading Jane Austen books that I read in high school that I
Mhm.
loved, and I'm rereading them now, and I'm like, oh, this is the best.
Yeah.
I really like this lady.
I have some dragon books that I just loved when I was in high school that some dear friends of mine introduced me to,
Yeah,
and really enjoy them as fiction, not as
yeah,
real life. And I really enjoyed going back to those as a not just a part of my adolescence, but just a part of myself and that
yeah.
fun. I like animals and dragons, and that fun part of myself
Right,
took me back,
right.
takes me back there when I read them. So yeah. So this has been good. We've been really looking forward to talking about the red geranium, 2-degree changes,
Yeah,
and just
little
taking it
thing,
slow.
little flower here and there.
Right, right. And some of us aren't loving flowers so much, but little pictures here and there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, little changes along the way. So we hope you've enjoyed this season 5. Please subscribe and like and comment and tell your friends. And we're looking forward to our next season, season 6, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, it can get better than this. Bye.
Bye.